shirt's red, though.
It's not.
No, I said your shirt.
So the head bopping is a constant thing.
Yeah, that's what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. You'll notice the person sitting just to my left, that is Devlin, former co-worker, current boss. Devlin, actually, everybody.
God,
Let's go ahead and we'll give him a nice big round of applause.
I just thought of something.
What did you think of?
After that Adam Sandler movie, to just go with it, how the whole Devlin with the woman that they do the Devlin. Did you ever get so much?
Oh my God! The worst part about that movie is the one actress I can't stand the most plays her, and my wife will never live it down. I hate Nicole Kidman, and the fact that she uses my name is just so upsetting.
Oh, I just realized I didn't do something. I got to turn Devlin up. Keep talking, Devlin.
No, I can't. I hate Nicole Kidman so much. My wife bought a Nicole Kidman celebrity book and wrapped every gift I got for at least 4 years in pages from that book.
Uh-oh, you're like
Nice.
Oh no, what happened? All right, everybody, welcome. I can see YouTube chat, Nightmares there, Anna's there. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? We've had a couple of weeks off. I was in Portland. I was hoping to get a live stream going last week. Unfortunately, it was too hectic trying to get work and everything back on track. So I postponed last week's show. And now here we are. Lane has taken some time off. He has a scheduling conflict here over the next few months, so we're going to be filling him in. Devlin is filling in tonight. If Devlin would like to come back, he's always more than welcome. So here's what we got.
How nice you guys are.
Here's what we got coming up. We're going to talk about Red Dawn. We have Mortal Kombat. We're also going to be talking about the original Nicktoons. We're going to get to 5 fast questions, 90s trivia, and a Steve Martin movie draft. But first, let's get to meet Devlin here. Devlin now living in up in Washington, but you've kind of lived a lot of different places. And I know Vegas was one. What are some of the other places that you've actually called home?
I grew up in Vegas. I did a year stint in Dallas. I say stint because it was more like a prison. The place is awful. I lived in LA for 4 years, London for 2, and now I'm just kind of staying in Seattle.
Hey, there you go.
I quite enjoy.
Seattle's not too shabby. And then, of course, we have Mr. Franklin Sharples down there.
Hello.
By way of Tallahassee, Florida.
Survived another storm this week. We're good.
Survived another storm. So how much did Debbie hit you where you were at?
Rain.
Just rain?
Rain. You know, light little limbs fell from the trees. That was it. Nothing crazy.
Not
If
too
I was
shabby.
younger, I would have gone outside and played in it.
Yeah, I remember my first summer, I moved to South Florida. My first day of, actually no, it was whether my first day of work or the first day of something. It was July 4th, 2005. And I remember that summer we had Katrina, Rita, and Wilma all hit,
That was
like
a good
boom,
summer
boom,
for you.
boom. Yeah. And I remember asking people at the office, I was like, dude, is it always like this? And they're like, no, this is a little bit weird. This is not how it normally is.
It's your fault.
I miss warm rain. Warm rain is amazing. I can't stand the cold stuff. It is not. You don't play in the cold stuff. You're like, I want to get out of the cold stuff. I hate this.
I always liked the news stories when they would go and then you'd see the kids playing in the giant puddles. And the news person would be like, you know, you're not supposed to be in here because there could be an electrical current from the power lines. And they're like, okay. And then they just run and they keep going and swimming in the giant puddle.
Yeah.
All right, well, the first thing we're going to get to here, we have a lot of YouTube polls to get to. Because obviously we've been off for a couple of weeks, but I've been uploading polls pretty much every single day. So what we do is I kind of give you the question. Devlin, you and Frank will let me know which one you think won the poll, which choice won. And then you'll notice the little 0 by your name down there. That is your score. So the way that it works is I give points based on correct answers to things. Maybe if you do something hilarious, I give you some points for that. And then at the end, when we get to the Steve Martin movie draft, whoever has the most points gets to pick first. And then the other person gets to go next. And then, as always, I go third. Any questions? Concerns?
Very generous of you to go last.
You know, I do what I can. Anna says, Frank, why are you so blurry? It's because he's got a $45 Walmart camera.
Is the thing going off? I don't know. It's been sitting there not working for 2 weeks. Probably.
Frank's not exactly
Chugging
rocking. He's not exactly rocking 4K down there, if you will.
Says 4K.
Okay, we don't need to see down your shirt. All right, first YouTube
See
poll.
down my pants.
First YouTube poll. What's your biggest driving pet peeve? Your four
I got a lot
options.
of those.
People on their what's that?
Said I got a lot of those.
Four options: people on their phones, traffic jams, people running red lights, or not using turn signals. Devlin, which one do you think won the poll?
Not using turn signals.
All right, Frank, what do you think won the poll?
Yeah, it's got to be turn signals. That's one of my biggest. Wow.
No.
Oh, it was a phone.
People on their phones, 50%. Not using turn signals came in second. By the way, if you are in the YouTube chat, you're more than welcome to chime in on any of the topics that we're talking about right here. Next YouTube question: what was the best home run derby moment? Now, obviously, you guys are going to have to kind of know your home run derbies here, but there was 2008. Josh Hamilton hit 28 home runs in one round. 1993, Ken Griffey Jr. bouncing home runs off of the warehouse in Baltimore. 1999, Mark McGwire's Fenway show. That's where he was just constantly parking them out over the Green Monster. Or in 2002, Sammy Sosa hit a full mile of home runs. Frank, we'll start with you. Which one do you think was the best home run derby moment?
I like Hamilton's just because it's the most recent that I can remember.
All right, he's going Hamilton. Devlin.
Oh, I want to go King Griffey because Seattle, but I'm gonna go with the Mark McGwire.
You should have gone Ken Griffey Jr. 54% of people voted for 1993 Ken Griffey Jr.'s warehouse shot. Coming in second, though, was Josh Hamilton's 28 home runs. By the way, he did not win that home run derby.
Yeah.
He lost to the Minnesota Twins' Justin Morneau, and I always remember that because I'm a Minnesota Twins fan. And when Justin Morneau won, they announced him as Jason Morneau. They screwed his name up. All right, here's one up your alley. Here's one I think up your alley, Devlin, because you're kind of an entertainment guy. Next poll question here. What's the greatest HBO show of all time?
Oh.
The four options were The Sopranos, Succession, The Wire, and Veep.
Oh, Sopranos.
All right, he's going Sopranos. Frank?
I'll just go Wire.
He's going The Wire. Ladies and gentlemen, we
devil's
have our
advocate.
first point. And it goes to Devlin. It was Sopranos. Oh, shit. Oh, I gave Frank the point on that. Hold on here. It's because I have everything mislabeled. I whipped everything together here at the last second.
Whip it.
All right, there's Devlin. Got it. Handily, too. The Sopranos, 73% of the vote.
I can see that.
Did you guys watch Sopranos all the way through?
Yeah.
Several times.
Really? I watched it. I know I watched the beginning, and then at the end, I kind of watched here and there. I never watched the beginning when it was live because we didn't have HBO at that time. But
No, I don't think anybody did.
yeah, it was
I watched it from the jump.
pretty rare. Like, we didn't get it until I think it was like season 3 was when my parents ended up getting HBO, and we were able to watch the HBO shows. But then by the time
I was
moved
always looking for the free weekends.
Oh, God, yes. We've talked about that before when they would do the HBO free weekend or the Disney Channel free weekend, and your parents would put in the cassette tape and record for like 6 hours. So they didn't have to pay for Disney Channel, but you got to watch Disney Channel.
Exactly. You always got to watch the HBO Presents comedy skits.
Yep.
Those are so good.
Or Brain Games. Remember Brain Games? That was older. That was, I think, from like the 80s.
I haven't even heard of Brain Games. I mean, Nickelodeon pretty much owned all game shows in my brain at that time.
Anna says that she's never seen any of the shows that I listed in the poll. Anna, you need to expand your horizons. All right, here we go. This is a summer type question. By the way, if you want to check out these polls that are on my YouTube channel, if you go to The Real Brandalorian on YouTube and you go to the community section, all of this stuff goes up. And I put up a poll every day, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Those go up, and you can go ahead and vote. And then we recap the previous week's polls, or as we're doing today, 2 weeks worth of polls. So we got to kind of get moving through this here. But what's the best
Hold on,
flavor?
I got a poll for you.
Ooh.
I got a poll for you.
I love that.
Who is the most hated character? The son from The Sopranos, Joffrey, and then like I'm trying to think of another HBO show where the character you hated.
I
Gotta be in Succession. Because everyone hates the son in Sopranos.
Whatever happened to that guy?
The Sopranos ended, so he ended.
Yeah.
All right. What's the best flavor of ice cream? Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, or something else?
Rocky Road?
What do you think won the poll? And we'll start with Frank.
Chocolate.
Frank says chocolate. Devlin?
Something else.
He went with something else. Frank has tied it up.
Nice.
And you can pick the same one. Like, you guys don't have to pick different choices, just in case you were worried about that. But yeah, so chocolate came in at 41%, vanilla came in at 30%, and then of course in the answers, Frank, what was what you just said? What was your favorite flavor?
Rocky Road?
Yeah, that one got mentioned a few times. Cookies and cream, I think, got probably the most right-in votes. All right, we're doing a little bit of college.
Really?
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of college football here. Because I had these polls when College Football 25 was released. And this is going to bring up something more that when we get to college football season, we're going to have Frank make his predictions, because Frank's
Oh boy.
he's a big Miami Hurricanes fan.
Fuck you.
No, he's a diehard Florida State fan. And so we're going to do, I'm still trying to kind of figure it out in my brain how I want to present it. If it's going to be like a 5 fast questions, or just have him give me his predictions, but it's going to be like, who's going to make the playoff, who's going to win the championship, who's going to win the conferences, who's going to win the Heisman, stuff like that. And then obviously when the season wraps up, we are going to see how Frank did on all of his predictions. But this YouTube poll was, what is the best college football stadium? I put the Rose Bowl, Notre Dame Stadium, Michigan Stadium, or Tiger Stadium for LSU. And Frank, what do they say
Go
down there?
Tigers.
They say go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right, Devlin, which one do you think won the poll here as the best college football stadium?
I'll go for Rudy. I'll do Nordstrom.
Nordstrom. All right, Nordstrom Stadium.
Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
All right, he's going
Nordstrom
Notre
State.
Dame. Frank, what are you saying?
But it was Michigan? right?
Rose Bowl, Notre Dame, Michigan, LSU.
I'm going to go Michigan.
He's going Michigan. Well, that would be a point for Devlin. Notre Dame Stadium, 54% of the vote. All right.
In the middle of Indiana.
Next one. What is the best college football game day tradition? Here are your options. The Oklahoma Sooner Schooner, which you've never seen the footage of that thing tipping over. It's freaking hilarious.
I have, yeah.
Colorado Ralphie's Run. That's when they run out with the actual buffalo. USC's Sword Stab. That's when the Trojan comes out and he, sticks it in the middle of the field. And then, of course, the FSU Chief Osceola Spear Plant. Frank, which one do you think won this poll?
I'm a homer on that one. It's Florida State by far. That flaming friggin' spear going in the ground when that horse is jacked up is awesome, especially at night.
So Frank's going Florida State. Devlin?
I gotta go with him on that one because that sounds pretty awesome.
And ladies and gentlemen, it was a runaway. I was expecting a little bit more, but insert sex joke here. 69% of the vote went to Florida State's Chief Osceola Spear Plant. So you both get a point on that.
See, that live is wild, man. The horse with Chief Osceola fire.
That would be worth
throwing
checking
it down. Oof. Especially at night.
All right, next
Give me
one I had
goosebumps.
here. We have, what is the best kind of seafood? Crab, shrimp, fish and chips, or scallops? Devlin.
Oh. I'm gonna go with shrimp. They're versatile.
He's going shrimp, Frank.
See, I was thinking that, but I know a lot of people that think they're mud bugs and don't want to eat them, so I'm gonna go crab.
He's going crab, but we have...
You're going with sea spiders instead of mud bugs.
Exactly.
We got a point for Devlin, ladies and gentlemen. Shrimp, 39%.
Nice.
Fish and chips, right behind it, 38%. Crab coming in at 17%. Scallops at 6%. Ortiz, really quick, says, do you guys still play games and stream them? Not really. This is pretty much the stream that I'm doing at this point, Ortiz. It's more kind of the talk show based stuff. We do occasionally do Jackbox nights. If everybody wants to get down on some Jackbox again, we can certainly do that. We'll pick like a Friday or a Saturday or something, and we can all get involved in some Jackbox. Have you played Jackbox before, Devlin?
I have not. I am trying to Google that right now, being nonchalant.
Did you ever
Not
play You Don't Know Jack?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same company. And there's
Okay.
and so
Gotcha.
Jackbox are party games where you can play with an Xbox, a PC. You can put it up on your television, and everybody plays from their phone. And so there's like a Pictionary one. There are even versions of You Don't Know Jack where it's just straight up trivia and stuff like that. And so it's an easy way where if we're streaming it, we're all here, and then everybody who's watching the stream can actually play along with us. It's a lot of fun.
Jackbox. All I see is Jackbox Naughty Pack. Dirty Drawful.
What are you
Let me
Googling, sir?
finish. It's the first advert on Jackbox game.
Oh God, let me finish.
Right. Faking it.
Let me
all
finish
night long.
my statement, please. Google. Yeah, Anna says that she misses playing Jackbox with us. Well, we're gonna get to some Jackbox here. Once things kind of settle down, we're trying to get through the summer. My kid's already back in school, so I'm hoping that our schedules are going to start to kind of line up. All right, got a few more polls to go through here. And these are some pretty heavy on the Olympics. What do you look forward to most in the Summer Olympics? Gymnastics, track and field, swimming, or the opening and closing ceremonies?
Beach volleyball, women's.
Frank says beach volleyball. Okay, of those 4 options, what are you picking, Frank?
Yeah, the opening closing ceremonies. I haven't really watched too much of the Olympics, to be honest.
All right, Devlin?
I mean, the gymnastics is got to be it. I mean, those, yeah.
54% of people said gymnastics. And honestly, I remember really watching the Beijing Olympics with Michael Phelps and kind of following that one. I didn't watch a ton of London, and I didn't really watch a ton of Rio. But this one I've been fully invested in because as I'm sitting here working, like Devlin normally sees me from my camera that's over on that side, which is all my work stuff. And so I normally have all the Olympic stuff on that monitor over there, and I just kind of let it play and run. And did you guys see the 100-meter dash this year?
I did. I thought that was impressive.
Absolutely. And so photo finish, if you haven't seen that, go look that one up. Also, did you see the ending to the men's 1500?
That the guy Hooker?
No.
Hawker, I believe.
I thought his name was Hooker.
It was Hawker. He's, I believe, from the University of Oregon. And go watch that one because that dude is way behind, and then he just kicks it into another gear and stuns everybody by winning it. He took down like the 2 favorites that were in that race, and he ended up taking the gold.
I'm surprised that you haven't brought up the pole vaulting.
Which one? The one where the guy broke the record, or the one where the guy's dong hit the pole?
The French guy.
I mean, that looked like that broke a French guy. Broke the record.
So really quick, the guy that won the gold medal and broke the world record, he's from the U.S. He's competing for Sweden. But he went to LSU. There's actually a picture of him. He went to LSU with Simone Biles. There's a picture of those two together when they were at LSU. And basically what happened was Sweden went to him because his mom is Swedish. Like, that's his only connection to Sweden. Yeah. And they were like, hey, we'll basically train you. Just come over here. And so he did. And now he owns the world record and got the gold because he didn't have a massive dong hitting the top bar there.
See, that's what I hate
Isn't he
about...
the one that looks like... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was like, isn't he the one that looks like if Timothy Chalamet and the freaking Oppenheimer guy had a baby?
Yes.
Cillian Murphy?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw those memes all over the place. I'm like, where is this guy from?
He's from the States.
From Louisiana.
Yeah, he went to LSU. All right, what were you going to say?
Can you imagine having
a... Go ahead.
No, I was like, can you imagine having a face combination of those 2 people?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, how did that work out? Those aren't 2 combinations to be like, oh, that's gonna be a good-looking guy. No. Those eyes, I'm surprised, just aren't like on the side of his head.
All right, Frank, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say that's why I don't really like the Olympics or World Cup, because nobody actually is from those countries anymore. It's people who have some sort of family lineage from like 20 centuries ago, or they came to the country and became a citizen in like 2 years, and it's like you don't actually see the actual...
I really hope North Korea is not having visitors.
But it's like, it's just, what it's like when you think of Germany and then you see like their soccer team. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right, next poll question here. We got a few more to get through. What is the best regional fast food burger joint? I thought of this one when I was in Portland because if you don't come from the Northwest, there's one up there called Burgerville. And I love Burgerville. And the options were Burgerville, In-N-Out, Whataburger, or somewhere else. Which do you think won that poll, Devlin?
I'm gonna go with Burgerville because I have Whataburger and In-N-Out get too many. That's just a fight and willing to happen depending on where you're at.
All right, Frank.
I mean, I've only eaten Whataburgers, so I gotta go with Whataburger. We don't have an In-N-Out down here.
In-N-Out won the poll, 56%. Whataburger came in at 25%.
Really?
Burgerville only
We just
got
got a
3.
Del Taco here, though.
There you go. Well, what's
I like
interesting,
Del Taco.
I don't like Whataburger all that much, which I know is completely blasphemous in the state of
Acquired
Texas.
taste.
There's a burger joint in Austin that I find way better. It's called P. Terry's. If you're ever in the Austin area, skip Whataburger and go to P. Terry's, man, because that place is bomb. Ooh, here we go. This is a nice late 80s, early 90s question for you guys. Who was your Saved by the Bell crush? Kelly Kapowski.
Never watched it.
Jesse Spano, Lisa Turtle, or remember Tori Scott. Everybody forgets the Tori Scott days.
No, I would have to go Tori Scott, Lisa Turtle, and then obvious reasons it was Jesse Spano. But
So-
that definitely was rerun days.
So who won the poll?
Oh, sorry.
No, I want to know your answer too. I like, dude. You could see Devlin drifting down memory lane too when he was looking up there. He's like,
Oh, I was like, oh, memories. I guess go with the regular Kelly Kapowski.
all right, Frank.
Who was the chick that was in Showgirls?
That was Jesse Spano.
Jesse Spano.
Yeah, I didn't really watch the show, so I'll go with that one.
Well, Devlin gets the point. That's not even close. Kelly Kapowski, 73% of the vote went to Kelly Kapowski.
She's the cheerleader. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna do?
Well,
That
actually, I think they
Yasmin
were all
Wade?
cheerleaders. But Jesse was the brains. Lisa Turtle was the rich kid. And then remember they brought in the girl Tori for like 10 episodes or something like that. I was gonna do one.
She was
for,
the badass biker.
I was gonna do one that was gonna be like reversed, where it was gonna be like who was your Saved by the Bell crush, but it was gonna be all the guys. But my YouTube channel is like 99% guys, so I don't know who that would have been patterned to. So that's the only reason I didn't do that one. It's basically Anna and Nightmare. You're the two women that come to my YouTube channel, by the way. All right, who's the greatest
So it ended up
stand-up?
being 50-50.
Who's the greatest stand-up comedian of all time? Here are your 4 options: Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, or Richard Pryor.
Oh, that's a hard list.
You got to pick one. So you're okay. Who do you think won the poll, and then we can figure out like which one you think was like your pick.
I think Eddie Murphy won the poll.
Yeah, I'm with Eddie Murphy on winning the poll.
No,
Really?
no.
George Carlin?
Winner of the poll was George Carlin at 37%. Robin Williams right behind him at 32%. Eddie Murphy at 17%, and Richard Pryor at 15%. Now, Devlin, of just those 4, take all other comedians out of it. Who would you pick of those 4?
I mean, I would definitely go. Sorry, I love George Carlin. Don't get me wrong, but it's intellectual funny versus laugh out funny.
Yeah.
So I go Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, and then Robin Williams.
All right, Frank.
I've only seen 1 or 2 of Robin Williams.
Well, I mean, out of those 4, I always enjoyed Carlin the most because Robin Williams was funny when he was on coke during that time
Well, I
period.
don't know. Robin Williams on Broadway, I think, is one of the best stand-ups of all time.
See,
That one was
but I would-
brilliant.
Oh yeah,
HBO in the late 90s, early 2000s had this great run where you had Chappelle, Eddie Izzard, and John Leguizamo. All 3 had specials that just knocked it out the park. And those are the 3 that I remember the most, or just besides Carlin, are those 3 specials. 'Cause they were just fantastic.
We need to
Eddie
educate.
Izzard's great history comedy.
We need to educate Anna a little bit because she says that Fluffy is the best. Look, I'm not going to knock him.
Is that
but,
the giant fat Spanish guy?
Yeah, but to
Yeah,
consider
nice
him the
dude.
greatest comedian of all time, we gotta educate Anna a little bit there.
She's got her taste, you know.
Yeah, that's true. She does watch this live stream. What was that?
Hey, she's here.
All right. What? Let me see here. What is? Okay, so this one was. It had to do with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which we talked about on the last live stream, which was a couple weeks ago. What is the best Guardians of the Galaxy movie? Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, or the Holiday Special? Frank, which one do you think won the poll?
I'm surprised this didn't have a something else offer.
Well, there's only those 4 Guardians of the Galaxies.
I'm gonna lean towards one.
You can go to the comic books.
I'm gonna lean towards the first one, but I would think 3 probably was pretty close because 3 was actually really good.
Okay. So which one do you think?
I liked number 2.
Are you going 1 or 3?
Which was the one with I'm gonna get. You know what? I'll just go with number 2.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell,
yeah.
So okay, so you went number 2. Which one did you say, Frank? I heard you list 1 and 2.
I said number 1, but I think number 3 is pretty close.
Oh shit! Wrong button. Frank got the point. It's Volume 1 came in at 57%. So one thing that Devlin doesn't quite know is that I am on this mission to meet Kurt Russell.
Oh, awesome! That's an awesome goal.
He doesn't know this, but we're kindred spirits. We were both born on March 17th. We're both St. Patrick's Day babies. He played professional baseball in Portland for the Portland Mavericks. He also played professional baseball here in El Paso. I'm just saying, it's kismet. Like it's meant to be. And so when we first started doing the movie drafts, every single movie draft, I was always able to pick a Kurt Russell movie. Like there was weeks in a row where there was always a Kurt Russell movie. No matter who the main subject was, Kurt Russell was going to be in one of those movies. So that is my goal.
Disappointed in his son's acting?
I don't mind it. Anna says, I personally like the one with Kevin Bacon the best. That's the holiday special.
That's the holiday special. That is a good one. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
All right. A few more polls here. Oh, this one's for Deadpool, which, by the way, went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Fantastic movie. What's the best Deadpool movie? Deadpool, Deadpool 2, or Deadpool and Wolverine? Devlin, what do you think won the poll?
I got to go with number 3. Even though a lot of people haven't seen it, that was easily the best one for me.
All right, Frank?
Yeah, because just everything with it, but number 1 has a place in my heart because that just came out of nowhere and was great. But yeah, I'm gonna go number 3.
Point for both. Yeah, 64% of the people, and it was funny because there was an argument in the comments about how recency bias on this, and other people were like, "What about nostalgia bias?" And it was like, "Shut the fuck up and vote. I don't care." Thank you for the comment.
It's a good movie.
I'm sorry, that had to be the best opening scene of any movie, any Marvel movie.
It was.
There's no comparison.
Spoiler alert, the movie's been out for like 2 weeks now.
Dude, you can find the whole thing on Twitter now, basically. You can go there and it's just clips of everywhere.
What do you think I'm doing is I'm getting ready to knock out for bed. I'm on YouTube rewatching the scene where Blade and Gambit come out.
Right. That one shocked a lot of people. I don't think they expected
I didn't know. And the funny thing is, I know that people have been talking about it because obviously Ryan Reynolds was in Blade Trinity, the 3rd Blade movie, but they fucking hated each other because again, Wesley Snipes was just a pain in the ass on that movie.
Isn't that where they had to like video edit his eyes opening?
Yes.
Or something?
Yeah, because he was on this slab and he refused to open his eyes, so they CGI'd open eyes onto his body.
Yeah. I can't even imagine being that difficult and getting on. No, yeah, I had to go see it randomly on a Tuesday. I had to randomly go see it on a Tuesday because I started seeing it was impossible to avoid leaks. And when I just saw 1 second clip of Wes going on, yeah, Ryan reached out, I was like, nope. Now I already know Blade's in it. Damn it.
Well, I went to go see it with Alan, and as we were going to the theater, he admitted that he had accidentally spoiled one of the cameos, and it was the Human Torch cameo.
Yeah, but I'd known about that one for a while. Yeah,
and I kind of figured that the second he showed up, when you saw that it was Chris Evans, I'm like, he's not there as Captain America. Like he's there as the Human Torch, and when he goes "Flame on," and you're like, that was amazing.
He's gonna say it. Avengers, flame on!
No, I like it when he's like, "Stay close," and Deadpool walks up behind him and puts his arms around.
Yeah, he takes something like that.
All right, here we go.
One of my favorite jokes was oh sorry.
No. Keep going.
Was the Daredevil when they go to Elektra? It's like, oh, sorry about Daredevil. And she was. It was like, oh, come on.
All right, last poll. There's a couple more that I'm going to get to when we get to first impressions here. We're going through the pictures and stuff. But the last one that was up on YouTube, what's the best pickup truck? Because I did a video about how if you own a pickup truck, the chances are you don't actually need it, because they've done like polls where the vast majority of people that own a truck don't use it for hauling, don't use it for towing, or any of the things that you would actually need a truck for. And I know that truck people are very passionate about what they drive. So I find it very funny to just get under their skin. So I put, what's the best pickup truck? Chevy Silverado, Dodge Ram, Ford F-150, or Toyota Tacoma? Devlin, what do you think won the vote?
Oh, see, I'm gonna go with Toyota Tacoma.
All right.
The Toyota was the same one as the Back to the Future.
All right. And
I really wanted that taco truck.
Frank?
Well, down here it's either a Ford or a Chevy, so I'm gonna go Ford.
And that is a point for Frank. 45% of the people voted for Ford F-150. Toyota Tacoma actually it went Ford F-150. Chevy Silverado got 25% of the vote. Then Toyota Tacoma at 18%. Dodge Ram all the way behind at 13%.
Yeah, people shit on Dodge.
People are not enjoying Dodge. All right, Anna says, Brandon, did you see the short you posted on Facebook about the movie went viral? I mean, I guess if you want to count that as viral, I mean, it did get like 1 million+ views, I think. But I've got...
That sounds pretty good to me.
I mean, I have multiple videos on YouTube with well over 1 million views.
What was it on?
But that one finally, like, so... I put all my energy into YouTube, and then Instagram and Facebook are just kind of there. You know, I kind of upload similar content and same content and stuff like that. And Facebook has always just been a drag. Like, I'd never really put any attention to it whatsoever. But it was one of the videos on Deadpool. Let me see if I can find it here. I think it was the one where I just talked about his, it was Tom Holland's brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, as the Daredevil.
Oh, it's well over. So, Anna says over 500,000 views. No, it's over 1 million. It's, I'm at 1.8 million. Actually, overall plays, it's almost up to 3 million. So that was a nice little spike right there.
Pretty good, man. Congrats.
Oh, thank you.
You should feel so proud.
And then if I go to YouTube, it's funny because then that video probably has like 5,000 views and that's it. But yeah, so I mean, everything I filter is basically for YouTube because YouTube is where I actually make money. And then I just happen to put stuff up on Facebook and on Instagram. But I went from like 1,500 followers on Facebook before that video to over 5,000 in like 48 hours.
There you go.
So,
oh, nice.
That was a nice little bump. Not going to lie. Nice little bump. But that's going to do it for our YouTube polls, ladies and gentlemen, which means it's time to get to first impressions. All right.
I don't know what this is.
I'm going to show you guys a picture, and I'm going to ask you what your first impression is of that picture. And the first one, Devlin, what is your first impression when I show you that? Come on.
Amazing death scenes.
No, come on! What's the first thing you think
Red
about?
Dawn.
No,
I mean, you see this.
This
is the only thing I've ever seen that an RPG can't even blow up a human being.
Frank,
like this
what are we
movie
looking
is
for?
just.
He wants to Wolverine.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so obviously we're talking about Red Dawn, courtesy of 1984. It was released August 10th, 1984. It made $38 million in the box office on a $17 million budget. Now, the original script was written by Kevin Reynolds, who, and his script was similar to Lord of the Flies. Like, it was vastly different than the one that ended up on the screen. Director John Milius rewrote and apparently let Reynolds know that it was going to be difficult for him to watch because they were basically kind of tearing down his original work. So Milius once told Creative Screenwriting, quote, "I brought the writer in and said, this isn't going to be easy for you to take because, you know, you're kind of full of yourself. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to make it into my movie. And you're going to have to sit back and watch, and it may not be too pleasant. My advice is to take the money you have and spend it on a young girl. Enjoy getting laid and write another script because this isn't going to be fun to watch."
That's a bit cruel.
So that, of course, that's director John Milius. And when he was auditioning females for the movie, he would ask them, what would happen if you were in the wilderness and you were starving? Could you kill a bunny? Anyone who was horrified by that question was done right there. You were just, your audition was done. The National Coalition of Television Violence deemed Red Dawn the most violent movie ever made. They said it contained 134 acts of violence, and they rated it X. Obviously, that's not the Motion Picture Association of America, but you know.
No.
They also claimed that the summer of 1984 was the most violent in movie history. It also gave Gremlins and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom X ratings.
There you go. The guy's face melted off. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not as bad as that dude in
Temple of Doom
RoboCop.
wasn't the face. Yeah, Temple of Doom wasn't the face. It was the heart ripping.
Yeah, Kalima.
Yeah. Kalima. Yeah.
So obviously here you have
Gremlins really should have been a release at Christmas.
It's that's what blows my mind when you look back at like 80s, even into the 90s. There were Christmas movies that were released during the summer.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Why? So here you
Don't
got
know.
Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey right there. Apparently they hated each other on set.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
because
I want to know, did this cause the grief, or was this the grief? Did this cause the grief at Dirty Dancing? Or did they hate each other right out the gate and they were like, fuck it, we'll do another movie together?
So apparently Milius, the director, he put Swayze in charge of the rest of the cast because Patrick Swayze was the older of that entire group.
He was like 30 years old at the time.
So
Yeah.
he was put in charge, and Jennifer Grey hated how he would boss them around. And then it was almost exactly 3 years later where the two ended up doing Dirty Dancing together. And finally, here's your Dirty Dancing, by the way. And finally, what is it they yell, Frank? Give me a good one. Oh, your microphone cut out because you yelled it too loud.
Yeah.
So
Wolverines.
people still apparently yell Wolverines at C. Thomas Howell. He's the one in the middle right there.
I saw him talk about that.
He said back in 2012, he said that he would still get it about twice a week in real life where people would yell it at him. And then it's at least 40 times a day on Twitter.
I think I read that.
I mean, there are worse things to be known about.
I think I read that, went on Twitter and like added him and did the yelled Wolverines, but he didn't respond.
I mean, can you imagine Charlie Sheen? Like, what are they going to tell him? Is he living his best life? Or
Yeah.
what was it? What was he getting? Is that it?
I think it was
Winning,
wasn't it?
winning. That was his thing.
Anna's asking about this picture. This is Red Dawn. Anna's younger, by the way, in case you can't tell. She hasn't seen any of this good stuff. You got to go check out Red Dawn. And the remake with Chris Hemsworth, by the way.
I
Also
didn't
a
like the way
pretty
it
solid
ended,
watch.
but it was pretty good.
I didn't think it was too
Anything
bad. All right, next picture for first impressions. Frank, what do you think of when I show you this?
The Moon Man. I can't remember the theme song, but
Devlin, do you remember
No,
his name?
It's the Ray Charles one. After Midnight or something like that. Or Midnight.
Mac Tonight.
Mac Tonight.
Mac
Mac?
Tonight. Something.
Tonight is the name, in which I was going to make fun of the person on Reddit who I saw post this because they called him Moon Man, but Frank said the same fucking
Because
thing.
that's when you're a kid. That's what you knew him as, a Moon Man. I even have
No,
one
I
of
knew
those
it was Mac
toys
Tonight
from
because
McDonald's.
they said Mac
I
Tonight.
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I knew him as Moon Man. Because
Well,
his face is a moon.
if you aren't familiar, this was an original campaign for McDonald's. He was the
remember
marketing
it.
mascot from 1986 to 1989, and it was massively
Yeah.
successful.
Can't blame it. It was a cool. I remember that commercial was awesome.
Thousands,
Kind of freaky too.
it was. Thousands of people would show up if they were promoting that somebody like dressed as Mac Tonight was going to be at one of the going to be at one of the restaurants. Thousands of people would show up for that.
I saw there was like a petition to try to bring him back, but McDonald's wants nothing to do with wants nothing to do with it.
We'll get to that.
Right.
So it's believed that the actual campaign increased dinner time business at some of the California restaurants by 10%. Like there was a 10%
Jeez.
bump just from this guy.
All potheads.
So he sang a new version of the song, Mac the Knife. Bobby Darin's version of that song is probably the most famous, and Darin's son actually sued McDonald's, alleging it infringed on his dad's likeness.
Okay.
I don't think his dad looks like a moon, but
Anything like a moon? No.
He didn't even have the chin, a pointy chin or anything. Like,
No.
where are you getting this from?
Yeah. See, I'm with Devlin. I always thought of it as
Ray Charles.
The name slips me. Ray Charles. Yeah. I never would have thought Bobby
I think that's
Darin.
what I always
No.
associated it with too.
I thought that was the
McDonald's-
whole.
I mean,
it was like people saw it as Ray Charles.
Yeah.
So you're just telling me the guy just couldn't see in the mask, so that's why you did this? As he
Oh, we'll get to the
Play
guy
the
in the
piano.
mask here in a second. But McDonald's lost that lawsuit.
Oh wow.
So they had to stop playing the song, and that kind of was what ended the whole Mac Tonight run.
Okay.
Although there was a reboot that I'm going to get to here in a second. But
that sounds like a judge literally just got shorted a chicken McNugget and was like, I'm gonna pay them back.
he's like, "You son of a bitch! I ordered a large fry."
Right. Exactly.
Or I found a feather in my chicken nugget, which one of my friends did one time. We talked about that very first live stream with all our fast food horror stories. So the voice of Mac Tonight was Brock Walsh. Do you guys know who the actor was inside the suit?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No. But coincidentally
Oh, that'd
enough,
be
we will be
amazing.
discussing him later too. Do you guys know who this guy is?
Oh, it's the dude from Hellboy. He plays the weird
Yeah.
guy from the Mermaid. Yeah.
Point for Devlin. Doug Jones.
Yeah. He
Jojo.
does a lot of creatures.
He played Abe Sapien in Hellboy. He played the Pale Man in Pan's Labyrinth, and he also played Amphibian Man in The Shape of Water.
I did not know he played in Hocus Pocus.
He was the Billy Butcherson in Hocus Pocus 2, I believe.
Oh, that's such a bad reference. Poor thing.
And finally, there was a Mac Tonight reboot that occurred over in Southeast Asia that had Mac basically dancing on top of McDonald's locations, singing and playing the saxophone. But there is Mac Tonight. Man, remember the ice cream cones?
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
they just have fake machines that don't make ice cream.
Yeah, they have machines that don't function at all. I'm sorry, our McFlurry doesn't work. All right. Next first impression, Frank, I'm going to show you a picture. I want to know what your first thought is when I show you this.
As in Mortal
Frank.
Kombat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but what's he do?
I was like, you could.
Nope.
I can't remember what he does.
Do you know what he says, Devlin?
Whoopee!
But yes.
Close. It's toasty.
Toasty.
He says toasty, but
That's
you got
what
but
he says?
yes, but you got the inflection right there, which is what I was looking for. That was fantastic. So
I
that
never knew
guy.
he said toasty. I thought it was whoopee.
No, it's toasty. So that guy's Dan Forden, and I'm going to explain the whole toasty thing here after we discuss Mortal Kombat, because the original was released August 1992, and of course it spawned multiple games, 24 of them total, actually, through June of 2024, because I believe they're working on a new one. Look at that ad, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Shorts. And
They were
hats
also
and
proudly
everything.
supporting our best in the 1992 Olympics.
Yeah.
So the original game was created by just 4 people in 10 months. That's all it took. I mean, obviously the actors and stuff that you got to include in there. Other names for the game that were being thrown around were Dragon Attack, Death Blow, and Fatality.
Dragon Attack.
Ooh, Fatality would have been good.
Fatality. I got to show Devlin. I got my
Fake. Oh, shit.
Fatality.
There it goes.
Wrong way again.
Yeah, I always forget I have
I got my
my fancy effects. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
That robot one sounds like that 80s. Yeah, was it the
Would you like to play a game?
No, not the dude, the one guy that I painted, the one with the
Max Headroom.
Yeah, when the kids took over, they hacked Chicago television. They used that voice, and that's freaky as hell.
It was super creepy. All right, so something that I think people generally know about, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Big Trouble in Little China was a major inspiration for
Raiden.
Well, for a couple characters. You had Raiden, who was patterned after lightning. So this is obviously Raiden, and over here on the other side is Big Trouble in Little China. And then you also have Shang Tsung was patterned after Lo Pan.
That guy's still alive. He's almost 100 years old.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's still around.
You guys ever see the YouTube clip where they show the recordings of them, like, recording the people doing the dancing back and forth and the kicks?
Yeah.
No, but I feel like I need to now.
It's like when they have to put them on a box and make them do this. They look like they're flying and everything. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, the game was originally based around Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it was when Universal Soldier was released. The producers approached Midway Games about a game being based on that movie. Midway thought it would be better to do a game that was more like Bloodsport, which is why Johnny Cage was kind of essentially patterned after Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then even in one of the games, there is a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin.
Yeah.
I like it. I never knew that.
That's why we do this. It's to educate people on things that they never thought they gave a crap about.
And instead, he did Street Fighter instead of the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah. He was guile,
Man, I'm never going to knock Street Fighter. That movie, Raul Julia did fantastic.
That's true. That's true. Raul Julia was fantastic. The Nintendo version of the game, for anybody that didn't know, did not show blood.
No, that was Nintendo's thing, never to show blood.
So Nintendo is this one over here. Genesis is over here. Now, Genesis did show blood, but you had to put in a code for a gorier version, and that code was a reference to Phil Collins and his band Genesis. Because the code was ABACABB. The band's 1981 album is called Abacab.
Man, back in the day, they used to link some crazy shit.
Yeah. So the game's violence, obviously, it was a major controversy with Connecticut Senator Joseph Lieberman. He went after violent video games. The public backlash inspired the ESRB rating system, which has been a mainstay ever since 1994.
I remember when that game came out, just in the arcades. It was getting all the quarters, man.
Oh my God, we were the demo. This is where I wish Alan was on this one. We'll have to talk about this again when Alan comes back, because I remember there was the arcade at the Clackamas Town Center down the street from my house, and it was super sketchy because it was super dark. Like, that's where drug deals went down. And I just remember, like, everybody huddled around Mortal Kombat, and I was terrible at it. I could not play fighting games to save my life. But finally, going to Mr. Toasty here, Dan Forden. It was created as a way to taunt one of the co-creators, Ed Boon. It started with a football game that they had created before Mortal Kombat. And so he would say, "You're toast," and then that progressed to, "I predict Toasty," and then they eventually landed on Toasty, so that was sort of the Easter egg that was there. It made its debut in Mortal Kombat 2. Wasn't in the first game. And it would happen with different variations in the game, like you hit somebody with an uppercut, you would get the Toasty.
Yeah.
Toasty!
Isn't that also when Reptiles showed up? Like, Reptile would show up out of nowhere?
Was that?
Was that 2 or 3?
God, I don't know because I remember playing 1 and 2 a lot, but after that, I don't remember. I mean, I think I played one of them later on, like in 2014 or 15. I think we actually beat the game. But yeah, I was never a big fighting game guy.
Nah, I gave up after 3. That was about it. Because you had Smoke and all the other ones. The cyborg guys. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Anna says the arcade was just a drug front. I mean, the whole reason is because like they didn't have lights. Like truly the whole thing was only lit up by the video games, and it was in the food court. By the way, it was in the corner of the food court. Oddly enough. All right, here we go. We're going. Here's one from the '90s. I'm going to show you a picture. What is the first thought when you see this?
Oh, God.
Now, question 1. Devlin, did you have this haircut?
No. Never had that haircut.
Frank.
I do not. My hair does not split down the middle.
Frank, did you have this haircut?
We had bowl cuts, but I don't remember splitting down the middle. I think like we would get bowl cuts, but then I would still like comb it over to the side. But we would
You were the
we'd
first,
have
you know?
yeah, we would have the bowl. We didn't have the whole part in the back either. I mean, it was like a straight shave down and like mop top.
So what ours was, and I specifically remember this as 8th grade because up until then, I just did your straight up sort of fade up to a part, like very clean cut sort of a look. And then I think it was my mom that mentioned like, hey, there's this haircut other kids are doing. Would you like to do it? And I was like, sure. So I let my hair grow out a little bit, and it started as a straight up bowl cut, like just all the way around. But then eventually what you would do is you would shave up the sides to about up here, and then the hair would grow down. And that's what I had for the beginning of high school, where I had hair down to about right here, but it was shaved on the sides and in the back, which is more similar to kind of what that kid, actually not really...
Evan Shawa?
Not JTT. Yeah, he was... wasn't he the one in... Was he in Idle Hands?
Yeah, that's
He
it.
was in Idle Hands.
Oh,
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie. That movie's so... I cannot wait. I cannot wait until Halloween
Honestly,
season.
you could change this advert, like the little text on the top, to being like, "Don't bleach your hair; it makes you crazy when you're older."
Yes, because all of
The
them have
bottom
essentially
two,
kind of...
so much.
Like he now down here,
He's got issues now.
yeah, he lives, I believe, in Springfield, Oregon, which is just across the freeway from Eugene. All right, here we go.
Isn't he in jail?
He did some time, but I think he's out. All right, next picture. Frank or Devlin, whoever wants to chime in first. What's your first thought when I show you this?
God, that the was it the from the Ren and Stimpy, the
Come on.
nose goblins, right? This was the episode that made me stop watching Ren and Stimpy. When he flipped that over and it's the nose goblins,
It's
as a kid that made me sick and I had to stop watching that show. That was so bad.
Yeah,
the-
that show was grotesque.
It's the magic nose goblins. I tried to show it to my kid because it's all on Paramount Plus, and we maybe got through an episode. And I even went big too. I showed her the one. Remember the one where all of Ren's teeth rot out, and so all of his teeth come out, and then he has the little nerve endings, and he's pulling out the nerve endings.
Oh God! Between that one and then the one where Stimpy is trying to make Ren happy, and he starts giving him all of his pieces of his body,
Yep.
so Ren can get all buff.
Yep.
Ugh. It was so gross.
So it's obviously Ren and Stimpy was one of the original Nicktoons. Do you guys remember the other two?
Doug and Rugrats.
Atta kid.
Yeah.
Give Frank a point
I still
on
can't
that
figure
one.
out how Doug was a great show. Like, I loved that show, and I still can't figure out how.
I know. I loved it too. I was obsessed with that show.
There was nothing crazy about it. It was just straight up being a
No.
kid. That's all
To
it
this
was.
day,
Yeah.
I still go.
The
Yeah.
Disney version
man.
wasn't that bad, but it wasn't as they did their Disney changes to it. That Nickelodeon one was so much better.
Now you have. I specifically remember one episode of Doug, and it's the one where everybody wants to buy the sneakers, and he can only get like the size 22, so they stuff a bunch of socks in there.
I remember that. What was his superhero alter ego?
Quail Man.
Quail Man. That was it.
And Silver Skeeter.
Silver Skeeter.
And don't remember. So the Dinks, which were Doug's neighbors, that name stood for double income, no kids.
Yeah.
Is that where that came from?
That's what that stood for. And then, of course, so there's Doug. You also had Rugrats right there. And then you have Ren and Stimpy. So these three shows were a major contrast to the animated shows from the 80s, which were dominated by merchandise-based cartoons. You're talking like He-Man, Transformers, Thundercats, all of that stuff. And it was so successful that this led to Viacom, which owns Nickelodeon. They put a bunch of money into animating TV shows for MTV, which was started by
Beavis
and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead, 1993. Now, we're going to go more in depth into MTV's 90s animated shows. I want to see if you guys remember any of these. There was The Head.
Oh, I remember the head.
Yeah,
That
I
gremlin
remember
thing
that.
lived in it, didn't it?
Yeah, I tried to watch this on more than one occasion. I don't think I could ever actually watch it. It was just
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
too
one I
weird
couldn't
for
This
me.
either.
MTV era of animation is weird.
Liquid TV was wild if you ever watched Liquid
I'm so
TV
glad
back
you
in
brought
the day.
that up because we will be discussing Liquid Television at a later time as well. Another cartoon, though, was The Max.
Max.
I used to collect
Yeah.
the comic books, by the way.
Screw that guy.
And then one of the other MTV
Ultraviolet?
cartoons.
Yeah, on Flux, that was it. Yeah.
They made a movie, right?
did,
It
yeah.
was Charlize Theron, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
I remember I would just watch this hoping to see like a cartoon boob or something pop out.
Yeah, that was my whole thing with those.
I was like, that's a really small thing covering our private areas. I wonder if anything's going to happen down there. And it never did, but I still watched
Didn't
the damn
this,
thing.
didn't this cartoon also spawn off Spawn?
I don't think so.
Inspire Spawn being made? I feel like it did. The animation's too similar.
Well, Spawn was Todd McFarlane.
No, but HBO did a short-lived animation series.
Oh, I mean, that might have been. So the theme, going back to the old Nicktoons, the theme for Rugrats was composed by
Devo.
Devo.
No shit, really?
Devo's Mark Mothersbaugh. He ended up doing the Rugrats theme song. And now you might be wondering, did Doug and Patty make it?
Isn't that the rumor?
I got some sad news
I don't
for you.
think-
They do not.
Oh Lord.
They didn't.
Show
Doug died.
creator Jim Jenkins was asked about it, and he said it doesn't happen because really people don't end up with their first love.
All right.
But he wrote her that song and recorded it.
Well, there's a lot of
was kinda
songs about
catchy.
love interests
Killer
that
Tofu?
don't work out.
No, Killer Tofu was actually good. It was
That was the Beats.
it was a patty mayonnaise on the sandwich and
Yeah.
mayonnaise something. He had the hiccups or some shit.
Yeah, Killer Tofu was the Beats, which
Yeah,
was a
Killer
knockoff
Tofu
of the
was the
Beatles.
The
And
Beatles.
finally, here's your Don't Whiz on the Electric Fence.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy creator John Crisfalusi, I think that's how you say it. I looked it up, and I've never known how to say that guy's name. And he was only a part of the show until 1992. He and Nickelodeon did not see eye to eye creatively,
Gee, I wonder why.
leading to him to create an alias named Raymond Spum in the credits. So when you see that, that's actually him. It's just an alias. And then he would come back to Ren and Stimpy in 2003 for Spike TV, and we don't need to go into the whole allegations on him. You can look it up on your own. Just look up John Crisfalusi. But that's going to do it for First Impressions, which means now it is time, Frank.
I'm like, do you want to bring up an odd ass cartoon real quick that I don't
Absolutely.
know anybody who's ever watched it, and it's been streaming up lately, and I was like, what the hell? You guys remember Duckman?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, with Jason Alexander.
Yeah,
You can find it on
That-
YouTube. They have all the seasons on YouTube.
exactly. I forgot all of that show existed.
That was
It's
a great show.
intense.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Oh, and I totally forgot. I had a poll up on YouTube that was what was the best original Nicktoon? So Doug, Ren and Stimpy, or Rugrats? What do you guys think won that poll?
Doug,
Ooh,
Ren and
Rick
Stimpy, or
Rugrats.
Rugrats? Probably
Yeah.
Rugrats. Yeah.
Yeah. Rugrats 57%, Ren and Stimpy 28%, Doug only 15% of the vote. All right, Frank, are you ready?
I mean, to this day, I still don't understand why I love that show. It was so plain Jane.
So
I
good.
but I
about
think that that's what made it endearing to us kids is that it it was truly just kind of watching the life of a highly creative kid who was going through similar stuff as you. Because I remember one of the things that I was always drawn to when it came to Doug was when he would daydream about like a horrible situation happening. And because that's what my brain does. My brain immediately goes to like the worst case scenario sometimes, and it drives me nuts. And I remember it was always comforting knowing that I'm not the only kid that goes through that. And that was one of the major draws when it came to Doug. All right, Frank.
He also had the coolest dog.
Oh, he did.
Pork
chop. Yeah. Pork chop. Hell yeah. Oh, and Roger Klotz. We can't forget the bully that ended up becoming Macklemore.
Oh, God. The bully? I forgot about the bully.
Yeah, Roger Klotz. All right, here we go. Frank, are you ready? You got your questions?
Yes.
All right, here we go. All right, it is time for 5 fast questions. Frank has the questions. I have the answers. Fire away, sir.
All right, number 1. What's the best Sunday morning cartoon or Saturday morning cartoon ever? Excuse me.
Ninja Turtles.
I'll go
Number 2.
Ghostbusters.
What's the worst time to burst out laughing?
I would say
A mouthful of...
Oh, I should have told Devin how we do this. Shit, I totally didn't tell him.
Oh, yeah, please.
So I totally forgot to tell Devin this. So we go 5 rapid fire with me, boom, 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 and then we discuss.
Oh. I thought I had the answer.
Totally fucking forgot to tell him that. All right, we're going to start this over. You ready? We're going to act like that
Take
didn't happen.
2.
Take 2. And here we go. It is time for 5 fast questions. Frank has the questions. I have the answers. Fire away, sir.
All right, number 1. What's the best Saturday morning cartoon ever?
Ninja Turtles.
Number 2. What's the worst time to burst out laughing?
I would say at a funeral, but I'm going to go one better and say it's if your kid comes out as gay to you. Don't laugh.
All right. Number 3. What 80s toy did you want but didn't get?
The G.I. Joe aircraft carrier, USS Flag.
Number 4. What exotic pet would you want to have at your home?
A penguin.
Okay. Number 5. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I think of that kind of like politics. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. If you want it, go ahead and do it. If you don't, just shut up about it. I don't care.
A long answer for fast questions.
That's 5 fast questions. All right, now we get to discuss. Frank, what was your first question?
It was best Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, God, there were so many. I mean,
It was the X-Men.
I'm still thinking about Ghostbusters, man. Ghostbusters was fantastic.
That was good. When
Oh, wait.
X-Men came along in '92, though. that's
original?
That one. Yeah, that's
Original
okay.
or the one with the gorilla?
The
I'm
original,
sorry,
the
no, I'm
original
sorry.
Ghostbusters.
The original was the one with the gorilla, wasn't it?
It's the
Yeah.
real,
Okay.
real Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
The real
yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Okay.
I followed it. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I loved that one. Yeah, see, I mean, and I do remember X-Men specifically because when I was 12, it would come on. I would have basketball games on Saturdays, and the way the schedule worked out is that we would go play our games, and by the time I came home, they were probably rerunning that previous morning's X-Men, and it was fantastic. Loved it.
Nice.
But when I was younger, hands down, Muppet Babies, best Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, Muppet
Baby.
Baby.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
love that
Devin's
song.
going to get me to sing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll sing the whole
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Oh, damn, that was such a great song. Yeah.
My
That was such a good one.
babies will do the same for
You
you.
DMC striked.
When
DMCA.
your room looks kind of weird and you wish that you were there, just close
Isn't there
your
some
eyes
copyright
and make
reasons why
believe.
nobody can watch that show now?
No, I think it's
It's like,
available. They rebooted it too. They did a reboot on Disney Plus.
did they?
Yeah. All right. Question 2, Frank.
Worst time to burst out laughing.
Funeral, I think, is the easy answer, but then I really quickly popped into my head, like if your kid ever comes out as like gay or something, don't laugh. Like don't have that be your immediate response. That can't feel good for them.
Mine's from a recent moment. I took a swig of some red wine, saw something funny on TV, and spit it out while sitting on a white couch.
Oh,
That was not a fun moment.
was it your white couch?
Yes.
Okay.
still regret that purchase.
All right, what was question 3, Frank?
What 80s toy did you want but didn't get?
Oh man, I mean, there's so many, but you guys know the GI Joe aircraft carrier I'm talking about, right? That gigantic one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that thing was amazing. I remember my cousin had it, and it was always the coolest thing to go hang out at his house and play with it.
I think for 80s it was the Power Wheels for me for some reason.
Mine was the Technodrome from Ninja Turtles.
Hey,
Which one?
I wanted that thing
Which
so
one was the
bad.
Technodrome?
the evil
The thing with the giant
base with the
eyeball?
eyeball on top of it. Yeah, that went
Oh,
underground.
right.
I had a neighbor who had that
Yeah.
thing. It was pretty cool.
I remember
Yeah,
I
that was
did
awesome.
want a Power Wheels. I think that though I was just out of the demographic on those because by the time that they were really coming out, I was almost too big for them. But I did have a big wheel. I had a He-Man big wheel, and that thing was the shit.
Those are fun. Dude, you can the big wheels had the best spin outs.
Yep. Oh, those hell yeah. You had the little, you
Yeah,
had the
those
little,
were fantastic.
the little brake on the back wheel.
hmm
That thing was awesome.
I always wanted the Rambo one that had the machine gun on it. You guys ever see that? It was like a water gun.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I think it was fantastic.
All right, Frank. Next question.
What exotic pet would you want at your house?
A penguin. And did you know you could, for a time there, I don't know if you still can, but for a time you could actually buy a penguin and have it at your house. They don't need to live in the cold. They can live in in any climate.
So that's a tough question for me because I grew up in Vegas and I lived where I lived when I was 16. I worked at an exotic pet store called Monkeys and More.
Oh, if you would have just stopped at
And we
exotic,
s-
that would have been great.
Yeah, well, no, see, the best part. So we
Thinking
actually, if
monkeys
you
and
ever
more
watch,
was a thing.
no, it was a thing. If you ever watch MTV's Cribs, we sold the monkey and the monkey cage to the Playmate and the Playboy House when they did Cribs.
No
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, I was so pissed I was not old enough to go and install that cage.
Oh.
They wouldn't let me do it because I wasn't 18. I was so mad. But if I had to choose, I'd say sugar gliders because those things were so cute. They would just grab onto you. They're
Yeah.
like little tiny Batmans.
Yeah. I don't think any of those are wrong answers. Those are solid. All right, Frank, what was the fifth one? We got to get to the trivia here.
It's the pineapple. Does it belong on pizza? My answer is no.
I always thought, you know what's funny is now when I think of pineapple on pizza, I think of Deadpool. Because remember the opening scene when the kid delivers the pizza and he's in that dude's apartment and he's like pineapple and olive, sweet and salty.
Yeah, that's why I like pineapple on pizza. It's the sweet and salty.
I don't mind it. It would never be my go-to. If it was the only pizza and I was hungry, I would eat it, but I don't think I would ever choose it. It's not really my jam.
My favorite pizza lately has been called a Norm Macdonald. It's got spicy honey on it, goat cheese, and some like big chunks of, I think it's Canadian bacon.
Damn,
Sounds tasty.
that sounds fancy.
It's a fancy bacon.
That's fancy bacon. All right. That's going to do it for 5 fast questions, which means it is time for 90s trivia, ladies and gentlemen. In the YouTube chat, you guys are more than welcome to join on in if you'd like. Currently, Devlin in the lead, 8-6, based on their answers previously in this live stream. So Frank will get to go first. First person to, we'll say 13. Here we go. Frank.
Right.
The search engine Google, which launched in 1998, was originally called what? Headache, McSearchface, or Backrub?
Headache.
No, I'm sorry. Devlin, would you like to steal?
Back rub.
It helps working in IT. Did you know, like, if I hadn't given multiple choice, would you have known that one?
Nope.
All right, well, you get to go on this one here, Devlin. The Notebook, a 1996 book by Nicholas Sparks, takes place in what East Coast state that is also the site of the Wright brothers' first flight? Oh, come on.
Oh. Now it just makes it sound like a bad day history. Is it? I'm gonna go with Georgia. Is that what you count as the East Coast, or you want?
Frank? Steal?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Nothing could be finer than to be in North Carolina. All right. Back to you, Frank. Right now, Devlin's got a 9-7 lead. How many kids did Iowa mom Bobby jeez, I need my fucking glasses. McCoffey give birth to in November 1997, an event that put her on the cover of Time?
Is that for me?
Yeah.
It was 8.
Yeah. No.
No.
When the
Octomom was
October?
later.
Oh,
This is 1997. So, Devlin,
Oh,
what is your
I'll
guess?
go with 6.
Nope. Shit. I hit both buttons.
Which is it?
It was
I
wrong.
think it's 7, right?
You should have just gone 1 under. It was 7.
1 and 7.
They were the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
surviving set of septuplets to be born.
Yeah, and then the woman outdid her by having 8, and then the whole like fertilization pills became a big thing.
I
They
say,
were
didn't that
stuffing
doctor?
their mouth with,
Didn't that doctor get in trouble for that?
I don't know, but yeah, like the women were chugging fertilization pills, and that's why they kept.
Wow, even in the chat, Anna said 8, Nightmare said 6. Nobody guessed 7.
Mm.
All right, Devlin, your question. A photo of what sea serpent famously caught on camera in 1934 was revealed by one of its pranksters as a hoax before his death in 1994.
Loch Ness. Nessie.
You are correct, sir. Devlin up to 10 points. Frank is apparently working
Sorry.
under his desk now.
I had to fix something.
All right, Frank,
He
your
had to
question.
find his pants.
Yeah,
What 1996 Cameron Crowe
think about monkeys and more.
monkeys and more? I'm telling you. So we're gonna start making shirts. We're gonna make a shirt for Biggins, and now we're gonna make a shirt for monkeys and more. All right, Frank. What 1996 Cameron Crowe love story spawned such enduring movie quotes as "You complete me" and "You
Jerry
had me
Maguire.
at hello"? Got it. All right, back to Devlin.
Show me the money.
Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry starred in an instructional video about what major Microsoft product release in 1995?
Oh, Windows 95.
And it's
How to
still
use the internet. That was
awkward as
so bad.
all hell, man. Good
Oh,
Lord.
God, it was so bad.
All right, and now we are going back to Frank. What 3D animated figure rocking out to Hooked on a Feeling went viral in 1996 and became one of the first internet memes? You should know this. You know the song
I know
Hooked
I
on a Feeling,
should.
right?
Yeah, but I can't think of any. There's been so many people that have sung it.
This is my
Um,
first reference to that song.
I got nothing.
Devlin, Steele?
No, I can't. That's Hooked on a Feeling.
What 3D animated figure was rocking out to it in 1996 and essentially kind of became the first internet meme?
It's not the dancing baby, is it?
There you go.
You are correct, sir. Yeah, remember it was on
God,
Ally
that
no.
thing
McBeal.
was creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's doing the whole weird dancing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
I hated that thing.
This next one, while you were working at Monkeys and more.
Monkey.
All right, final one here. If Devlin gets this right, he gets the victory. What planet are women from, according to the wildly popular 1992 relationship guide from John Gray that spent 121 weeks on the bestseller list?
Women are from Venus.
You are correct, sir. Do I have my winning music? I don't think I do.
You are correct, sir.
Oh, damn it. I don't. I got to load that in. I don't have my winning music. But yeah, you got that right. The book is Men Are From Mars,
You might
Women
actually
Are
read that book?
From Venus. I have never even looked at it.
Same.
But you know what that means, don't you, Frank? Frank does not.
You're gonna put the music on.
All right, it's time for the movie draft. Devlin coming in first place with 13 points. Franklin coming in second with 8. And then I will pick third. So here's how this works. Basically, we are just trying to build our perfect, or best, I should say, Steve Martin triple feature. Once a movie is chosen, it is off the board. Devlin, what is your first Steve Martin movie.
I'm gonna have to go with Train, Planes, and Automobiles.
Ah, very fantastic choice. Those aren't pillows.
Yeah. Right? You're going the wrong way.
So
That
I
devil
did-
scene will be the best.
I did a video about this, and there's one scene that essentially gave it its rated R rating. And it's when he drops a flurry of F-bombs to the lady that was the principal's assistant in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the car rental one, right?
Yep. Yeah, that one
Yeah.
scene essentially made it rated R. All right, Frank, what is your first choice when it comes to Steve Martin movies?
I'm gonna go with a jerk.
Ah, fantastic
Original.
choice.
Nice.
I just like at the gas station scene. It's a fun.
Shooting
The
at the cans?
cans.
Where the hell? I have that poster here somewhere. Where did it go? There you go. The cans.
The cans, not
The
the
cans.
cans.
He was a poor black sharecropper's son who was never, who never dreamed he was adopted.
Oh,
Such a good movie. All right, so it's my choice. My first pick.
Mm-hmm. Tres Amigos.
Nice.
You gotta go Three Amigos, man. And oddly enough,
Three
I
Amigos
did.
is fantastic.
I did put up a poll on YouTube about what is the best Steve Martin triple feature. And I left Three Amigos off the poll, not even realizing I did it. I'll go over the four choices and which movie won once we get through all of this stuff. But that's my first choice. My second one is arguably one of the first movies I really remember with Steve Martin.
Oh, Roxanne.
Roxanne. I absolutely love Roxanne. Oops, why isn't it typing here? All right, so those are mine. Frank, we're going back to you, my man.
I'm gonna go with Father of the Bride.
Ah,
I actually like those movies
First
a
one.
lot.
no shame. There's no shame
Growing up
here.
in the generation where kids, growing up in the generation where kids never got to pick the movies, you had to watch what the parents picked out from Blockbuster. You watched movies like this all the time. and It was funny as
See,
hell.
I don't think I ever saw it as a kid. I just
Family-oriented movies.
Yeah, I just watched it like 8-9 months ago, I think, with because my wife and kid were watching it. All right, Devlin, we're back to you. You get to go back to back here, my man. So, what are your second and
All right.
third choices?
It's just an iconic role of his that I can't let go. It's got to be Little Shop of Horrors.
Ah, yes, that is a fantastic
character
choice.
is fantastic. And I would have to go for number 3 is a kind of a toss-up for me because I don't know. I got Dirty Rotten Scoundrels or My Blue Heaven. I guess I'll go My Blue Heaven. 'Cause
Ah,
his mob boss accent is so bad. It's just so bad.
that movie is how I know you don't pull your wallet out at a game, and also how you can basically kind of swipe a wallet from somebody where you just bump into them. Because remember, they're at the ballpark, and he's like, no, he's like, put that back in your pocket, and then he bumps into the kid, and he swipes the wallet. And he's like, did you feel that? And the kid's like, no, and he shows him the wallet, and I was like, aha. So then, for the longest time after watching that movie, I legitimately would just go around trying to take people's wallets. Like,
I
people
remember
knew.
trying that once, getting caught and not doing it again.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's people I knew, but then of course they knew what the hell I was doing, and they were like, dude, just stop fucking bumping into me, man.
Well, the worst part is like, do you remember the '90s wallets for men were those giant long ones because they had to hold a checkbook?
Yeah.
So they were
Mhm.
always sticking halfway out.
Yeah, like it was already out of your ass. All right, Frank, what is your third
Yeah.
pick?
We're gonna do Parenthood.
that's a good one.
Alright. I mean, we got that with Keanu Reeves, by the way.
Yeah, and Jacqueline Finnis.
Oh yeah.
He was the younger brother, or the younger kid in it.
Oh, Rick Moranis is in that one too.
Yeah, him and Steve Martin were like buddy
It
flicking all
was
the time.
yeah, it was those
Right?
two before it was Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah, and then also Rick Moranis kind of with John Candy. Those
Yep.
two were always in movies together.
Yep. We really got to work. We got to expand Anna's viewing palette because she immediately went Pink Panther and Bringing Down the House, which I do have the posters for, but come on.
I still love that song.
There was that one. There was also Bringing Down the House. So here's some honorable mentions for you as I get to my third one. We got Bringing Down the House here with Queen Latifah. The Muppet
I
Movie.
actually saw that. I didn't hate that movie. It was good.
We also have, let me see here. See, now this is where I'm torn. Because Devlin mentioned Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which I think is a fantastic movie. I didn't realize it was a Frank Oz film until I started looking at this right here, by the way.
Frank Oz from Muppets?
Yeah, I'm not going to go with that, though. Remember, he was also in Looney Tunes Back in Action.
You're gonna go with the big year.
We also have honorable mention of Sergeant Bilko.
Sergeant Bilko.
His highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes is LA Story. Oddly enough.
Really?
Yeah, when they rank all of it based on the tomato meter, this I believe is the #1 movie. A few more honorable mentions here. You also had Mixed Nuts as well.
That was a good one.
See, I want to make sure I'm not missing any real big honorable mentions. I don't think I am, which
The
means
big year.
Which means I can go to my final choice.
Bowfinger.
I
I never saw this one.
I effing love Bowfinger. This is one that Alan and I went and saw in the theater. And it was just because, remember when you just used to go to the theater not knowing really what the hell was playing and you would just pick a movie and just go? So if I remember correctly, that's how we ended up coming onto Bowfinger. And for some reason, this one hit me and Alan's funny bone just relentlessly, and we could not stop quoting the movie because Eddie Murphy plays the two different roles. This one obviously being the better one. This one's hilarious. It's just, and it's got Heather Graham in it as well. It's a great movie. I love it. It's
Wasn't that
not
right
an
around the
Oscar
time
winner.
that Eddie Murphy was caught in the car with the
hookah?
yeah. Was that around that time?
I believe so. But there you go. So that is our triple features. We have Devlin, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Little Shop of Horrors, and My Blue Heaven. Frank has The Jerk, Father of the Bride, and Parenthood. And I have The Three Amigos, Roxanne, and Bowfinger. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the live stream.
Bang, 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 bang.
Big thank you to Mr. Devlin. I have to call him Mr. Devlin because technically he is my boss.
I done.
I know he doesn't
Hey.
like that at all.
No.
So
I've
he-
only been in it for 4 days.
So he wasn't my boss, but then when our boss left, Devlin got promoted. So he is now officially my
Punished?
boss. And I think it might get under his skin a little bit when I call him that.
Not even close.
But
I
that's
just
gonna
don't
do
like
it.
all the meetings I got to go to now.
Oh my God. Yeah, I heard about that. Every time it's like, hey, like Devlin, what are you doing? I'm in a meeting.
I can't stand it.
All right, before we wrap up the show, Devlin, anything you'd like to say?
Thanks for the invite. I had a blast. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome back anytime if you'd like, because like I said, Lan is going to be on a bit of a hiatus for a few months. So obviously, if we get Devlin in, then that's definitely something that we want to work towards. Anna says, "Boss man is smart." She says you're smart. All right, Frank, you got anything that you want to bring up?
Channing Tatum is Gambit in Deadpool.
Have you seen the memes online? That's like Gambit's cameo in Deadpool.
Oh, you
and then
gotta,
it's-
I gotta come out here. We gotta go do this.
No. It's the clip. It's the clip from This Is the End when he's the Gimp, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Channing Tatum," and he pulls the mask off, and he goes, "Hey guys, what's up?" That one. Freaking love
I
it.
love
All right.
him.
So a couple of things too. One topic that we really have not done a lot of on the live stream is sports, but I'm going to start incorporating that a little bit more, especially for Anna and Nightmare, to try to make sports somehow entertaining, because I know that they probably could not care less about sports. Anna, maybe one of these days we'll YouTube kicked you out. She says YouTube kicked me out. I don't know what you're talking about. And she wants to come on as a guest. Maybe we'll get Anna as a guest as well. But football season's coming around the corner, and I want to get predictions from Frank, especially in college football. Devlin, are you watching sports at all?
I ain't got time, man.
Yeah, I.
He's got meetings
He's got meetings
and monkeys and more.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm surprised you're lucky they show football at Biggins for you.
Yeah,
Biggins.
We gotta go back there.
I remember when I was living in Florida and I was single. I had NFL Sunday Ticket, and I would watch every game. I mean, I had one game on the television, I had another game on my laptop, and then I had NFL Red Zone on my tablet. And I won almost every single fantasy football league I was in. It was fantastic.
Nice.
And now I'm married with a kid, and I'm lucky if I get to watch one game. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Anna says it was weird. It just went black, then an ad, and then she had to close the app and come back in midstream. Yeah, I don't know. I was getting an error message.
On YouTube side.
Yeah, I was getting an error message from YouTube earlier saying that like my streaming software wasn't communicating properly, but then it went away. I wonder if there was something going on there. But yeah, so we're gonna get to some of that stuff. Obviously, the baseball season is gonna be coming to a close here, so maybe we'll get some World Series predictions and definitely gonna get college football predictions from Frank. But on that note, everybody have yourselves a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Make sure that you're checking out the YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Instagram. It's at The Real Brandalorian. Don't forget, we do have the memberships here on YouTube where for 2 different tiers. There's the Memberlorian tier for $4.99. Essentially, you get yourself a sticker pack. We've got the Devil knows what I'm talking about, the old cross-eyed bear sticker.
I love that.
We have the History of Rock sticker right there. And then we also have the we're going to get it. I got to send Frank some of these because then I'm going to hand it to him. And then he's going to pull it down right there. But yeah, so for $4.99 a month, you help not only support the channel, but you'll also get a sticker pack and a t-shirt. These t-shirts have one of these logos on them. You get to pick. Anna, I know I still have to get you yours. I've been
slacking.
I've been slacking big time on that. She became a Memberlorian like 5 months ago, and I still haven't sent her stuff yet. So I got to get that in there. There's also a 99-cent tier. So for 99 cents a month, it's a channel supporter. It helps essentially kind of pay for all my equipment and shit that I bought so that we can do this stuff. That you get a sticker pack. So if you can do that, if you become a Memberlorian or if you become a channel supporter, you can. I'll see that on the YouTube channel. I can reach out to you. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, somewhere with a message, and then you can get me your address, and I'll ship you your stuff off. But on that note, have a fantastic Wednesday. See, look at that, all in capital letters. You still owe me my shirt. We will, I promise. You got to let me know which one. Which one did you? I think she said which one she wanted. I don't know. It's been a crazy few weeks trying to get shit taken care of. But have a great Wednesday. Have a great rest of the week. Drive safe wherever the hell you're going, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Pleasure.